Most remodeling companies, they think they have a lead problem, but what they really have is a speed to friction problem. So today, we're going to talk about a tool like video estimates, AI driven workflows, and really just how they're changing the game, helping contractors respond faster, qualify better, close more jobs without stepping foot in your home. We're not just talking about how to get more leads and close jobs faster. We're actually going to show you exactly how it's done. And I'm going to be joined today by James Hatfield from Live Switch, and he's going to walk us through how contractors can use simple video tools to instantly connect with prospects, run virtual estimates, even convert more leads without apps, delays, or unnecessary friction. So if you've ever wondered, what's actually like in real life to use some of these tools, you're about to find out. And we're going to dive into all this on the Crushing It with Kitchen Remodeling podcast just after this.
Are you looking for some fresh ideas to jumpstart your kitchen remodeling business? Welcome to the Crushing It with Kitchen Remodeling Podcast. Your host, Michael Goldstein, founder of Kitchen Remodeling SEO, the digital marketing agency working exclusively with kitchen remodeling contractors. And also, the author of the ultimate internet marketing guide for kitchen remodeling contractors, will provide insights on proven tips and strategies from top experts in this space, so that you can take advantage of industry best practices. Your host, Michael Goldstein. Join Mike as he shares his knowledge each week with an insightful interview or educational segment about how to turn your online marketing efforts into more kitchen remodeling leads and sales opportunities than ever before.
And we're back. So I'm here today with James Hatfield from Live Switch. And James, thanks so much for joining me. But before we get started, I'd just like to kind of introduce to my audience and have you just tell everybody who the heck you are. What is it that you do?
Mike, thanks for having me. Love being here. I am currently the chief revenue officer for a tech company, but I am a blue collar kid that somehow ended up in technology. I used to be a contractor. I owned painting and power washing companies. We had commercial residential for the longest time, but I made the jump into technology 20 years ago. And the first company, we took it from nothing to Inc. 500 to a multi-billion-dollar company, sold that company, purchased this company 6 years ago. It's a 16-year-old company. You've probably seen and use our stuff. So what do I do now? I created a technology with my team that allows contractors to see the job before even driving out. I used to go out every time and drive out and walk the property, and that's just how we've done it for many decades, but it has changed. And so imagine FaceTime and ChatGPT got together and had a baby and made it for the trades and for contractors. That is Live Switch. And so now I'm talking all about race to the face and AI and using video and skipping the trip in the truck. And it's been really humbling in a good way to see the thousands and thousands of users that we have using it every single day.
That's fantastic. And James, before we jump into this, and I know you're going to demo this in a little bit, but just can you give me kind of a quick overview of really, indeed, kind of what Live Switch does? Who's it for as it relates to, the home service folks?
Yeah, I might start with a story. It says like, how the heck did we get here? Right. Then it'll say exactly how I use it because it'll make sense. It's like, oh, I got it. So we're one of very few companies in the world that deal with live video. We've done all kinds of stuff. Like when COVID happened, we powered the NBA bubble. We just did the Super Bowl this last 4 years. We got like an MLB ballpark and scan a QR code. They put you on the Jumbotron. We did that. So we had got a knock on the door from the chief of police in Washington, D.C. to reinvent our nation's 911 phone call. Now that everybody's walking around with cameras in their pocket, the idea was, how do we stream that video to the police car, fire truck, or emergency medical so they know what they're driving into? It's called situational awareness. So 4 years ago, I woke up at 3 a.m. I was like, I got it. Because we had to come up with a way, no time to download an app. The citizen is compromised, so it needs to be idiot proof. And we found a way to send a text message while you're on a phone call with 911 that you can tap on it. We get into the cameras and it'll stream it right to the police car, fire truck, emergency medical. So the question was like, all right, well, who else could use this? You see what I see, no app. And roads all led to the trades. And basically now we can use this. I used to run my company on a Nextel walkie-talkie, if you remember those things, Mike. I mean, I could talk to anyone on my team. It's this generation's Nextel walkie-talkie. It's just with our eyes. Now we all have phones in our pocket. You can see what your team members are seeing. You can see what your customers are seeing, and you can get eyes on the project immediately, and they can see you because people buy from the face. They buy from people. And we're trying to, now that the gas prices are going insane, it's pretty timely.
It is, and the funny thing I find is that, I always up to this, nobody buys from a logo, they buy from a person. And the best way to, to introduce yourself and the best way to create that know, like, and trust kind of atmosphere, it's on video. It's connecting us, to people. But with that said, let's say that, I'm a homeowner, and I just reached out to, a kitchen remodeler in Savannah, Georgia, and I want to get a quote. What exactly would that look like with, with this platform? How does that all kind of come together?
I'm going to do a quick demo of LiveSwitch. What you're looking at here on this screen is actually our platform. So you will see, start a live call. This is where you can send a quick text message to anybody in the world. If you have VAs, that matters. But if you don't have any virtual assistants, no worries. You just, call comes in, you send a text, you put in their phone number, and then you hit send. When that call comes in, the person will get a quick link that they tap on their phone, and you'll be able to see them. They can see you. You'll be able to laser guide them around. You can request them to flip camera. You can share your screen. Everything will get recorded. You can take remote snapshots, and I'll show you what this looks like. But right after you do the live call, and this is an example. This happens to be an office remodel. Wish I had a kitchen remodel example, but this is one that I actually did with this prospect. And there I am right there. And through, and Jim showed me an office remodel. So he walks me through the office. You can see he's telling me exactly what he wants done. And then I can clip this if I need to. I can download it. I can play it 2x speed. I can tag it. I can share it with anybody that needs to see it, maybe a subcontractor or my team on what I bid. I took remote photos of everything while he was walking around, which I can mark up, and then I can run an AI report. This little dog here is Sparky, and he will run, and I created an office commercial remodel prompt, but we have all kinds of different prompts that you can do, inventory prompts, summaries, work, whatever you can imagine. Put these prompts, you click a button, off goes our AI dog, and it returns a report. This report is fully editable. I can copy and paste different sections, but it talks about the project, talks about existing conditions, what the customer wanted. It starts bringing measurements, ceiling height, and windows, and different options. He asked to create some of the cubicles into glass cubicles. He had another one that he wanted to make it to a storage room, and it put that here. They wanted to update their podcast studio. Here's all the electrical work and the data and HVAC things and fire protection we need to know, finishing standards, pre-construction work, electrical, lighting, storage room, pricing, timelines of everything. So all from just a quick, 5-minute video with the prospect, and I'm putting together an entire report that I can use to build out my estimate or quote and use that. And that's just the live call section of everything. I can do request stuff where I send a text and someone comes in. I can do instant recording, all kinds of different things. But we're happy to take you through a demo of how this works. You can try it, put your hands on it, but would love to start working with anybody here. Again, you can go to James at LiveSwitch, and thank you for the opportunity to show the program to you. Yeah, we used to call it speed to lead. We've rebranded it to race to the face because, as you said, Mike, people buy from people that they can see, right? So now someone wants to get their kitchen remodeled. What do they typically do? They go to Google or maybe ask a friend and get a referral. There's so many different ways to get found these days, right? And what do? They pick up the phone or they put in a lead quote on the website, and in comes the lead. And so you are on the clock. Did you know that people are 4 times more likely to buy if they can get a quote within 2 hours of the first call? How the heck are you supposed to do that, right? I can't even get the lead. I'm supposed to start working on picking up the phone. You got to pick up the phone, And so then from there, what'll happen is person will say, hey, I've got a project. You traditionally do a little bit of discovery. And what we're trying to do, right, is figure out if you're worth the drive out. Do you have the money, budget, timeline? Then we decide, yes, I'm going to come and sit down, come in the house. We'll sit down and take a look at everything. That does work. We've been doing it for a long time. But the thing is, Amazon Prime has ruined us. Mike, I don't know if you knew this, but you don't have to be an Amazon Prime customer to get your packages. But we all do it because we're first it was 2 days, and now it's like overnight, and then it's the same day, and then it's within an hour, right? We have no patience with anything.
Well, we live in a world of instant gratification, at this point. I don't want to go through, just like with SEO, I don't want to click through 10 blue links. I just want that answer given to me in a silver platter. And, I know in the home service space and really in the B2B space, any space, it's the same thing. Nobody's got patience for anything. I got a question. I want an answer. I have a need. I want a solution, and I don't want to wait around for it, because if you can't give it to me, you know what? Your competitor will.
That's true. You're on the clock. I mean, speed matters, right? In the NFL and the Olympics. Why is it any different in business? It's not. It's not. And what we need to find a way to do, and what you can do with Live Switch as an example, is now when they call, you can send a text message. The person, all they got to do is tap on it. They don't have to download anything. They tap on it, and it's all tuned up for you to do a remote estimate. So for them, as an example, it's all in the details, right? For your potential customer, they're actually going to see themselves large, and they're going to see you small with a virtual background. And everything you're doing can be done from a phone or a computer. So you can be at a different job site. You can be behind your computer in your office or your home. You can now connect any two devices that on the planet, point to point. So if you're a computer and they're on an Android, no problem. If you're on an iPhone and they're on no problem. And it's tuned up to where the customer or potential customer, they see themselves big and you small, because Mike and I, we have these big glasses on. We can't see. The older you get, the thicker they get, right? So like now he can just walk around and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Here's my current kitchen. And for you as a business owner or the estimator, we have laser guidance. You can laser guide them around. It records the whole thing. You can take remote photos. Hey, stop right there. Let me take a few photos because I want to put that into my design tool. Then you can share your screen if you need to walk them through any pricing or show them, oh, we just did a couple kitchens. Check these out. It look like this? Oh, yeah. And it will record the whole thing so they can send it to a partner, a spouse, their friends. They can, hey, look what my contractor just did, right? And then what you're doing is you're edging out the competition. Because you know what people do if they don't have a referral? They go down the Google list of stars, right? Isn't that what we all do? So I want to box. Don't call the next remodeler. You've got me. I'm already in the house. I'm already reviewing. And then, you can run all of that through AI.
And, you just said something to me, though, right at the beginning of that really kind of resonates with me, is that you say you don't need to download an app, because I can't tell you how many times, something as simple as Zoom, and I get on a call with a customer and they're, you know what, I got to figure out, how do I download Zoom? I have it on my computer. I don't have it on my phone, or I have it in the office. That's incredible that barrier to entry right there, I think, is the biggest thing that remodelers or home service people run into, is that people don't want to put yet another thing on their phone.
No, especially for a single use, right? That's not even multi-use. And the other things that are going on are just it's all tuned up. You know what I mean? So it's immediacy. It's that you have the ability to laser guide. You have the ability. In fact, we even have a button. Maybe the person is very phone illiterate, tech illiterate. We've got a button on your end as a salesperson that says flip camera button, and it will put a big button on them. You just click it. And for them, it's like, hey, touch this button. They touch it and it'll flip their camera for them. So it's these little things, because people are like, well, where's the flip camera button? I don't see it. And then now you're in tech support, right? You don't want to be in tech support. You want to be in customer service and speed and building that relationship, that human-to-human connection. When someone's getting ready to spend 4 or 5 figures, 6 maybe on your largest jobs, right? They expect to have white glove service. You can't afford to not give a great experience. And it's very thoughtful. And then what you're doing is you're capturing that lead. If it's a really small job, you can even bid it right there, right? Those small jobs. Think about callbacks. Hey, you guys just remodeled my kitchen and I can't figure out, my cabinet looks misaligned, right? Oh, don't worry. Just open the cabinet, grab a screwdriver. Let me laser guide you through this. Because if I can save that trip out, because that's totally my time, and I'm going to have to go out because they just spent a bunch of money with me. If I can remote fix it and mitigate a callback, my customer will be happy. And the other thing is, if someone's got money or if someone's pissed off, you can take that pissed off or that money, I want to give you money, and with the human face, that has the best way to either get the money or take the pissed off factor down a few notches, right? Because if someone's going to type at you, they have all the keyboard courage, is what they call it. Someone might phone call and be really mad. They might scream, but when they see you, they tend to disarm, and then you're able to see the problem. When you can, oh, no, don't worry. Like, as a great example, I've got a lot of landscapers that use this. I got a guy who lays out sod, and you can spend a lot of money for sod. Well, naturally, the grass will be gray or brown in a few spots. And it happens all the time that people start flipping out. Like, you put bad grass down. Nope. Now the sod guy takes a look at it like, no. It looks great, actually. It'll bounce right back. Just keep watering it like I told you. But the same thing is in kitchen remodeling. I'm just using these simple examples that help with, in this case, virtual estimating. But now that you've got cameras in your pocket and your employees have cameras in your pocket, this is just the first piece of many things that your business processes are going to start changing to help with your business. We're just kind of picking on virtual estimates right now.
So, right, what you're saying right now, though, is that you're kind of creating that connection between two people. What happens with, with AI, though? Like, is it possible for someone to say, hey, listen, I want to get an estimate, and can I just take a photo of my kitchen, walk through it, and then have the tool actually come up and give me a range based on, actual materials, costs of goods sold, all of that?
That's exactly what it can do. It can do it even from live, or we call it request stuff. If you want to request stuff, now instead of a customer scrolling through all the photos and videos on their phone, they just get a text, they tap it. If they have photos or videos, they can just hit upload button, and then boom, it goes right into your cloud. Or if they don't have any, it has a record a video or take photos. They tap it, take a video or photos. Nothing is ever stored on a customer device or an employee device. That's a liability. And it goes right up to the cloud. It pings you, and then you can run AI prompts on it. Like, if they start talking, oh, I want all of these cabinets painted from this old oak to white. I want to replace, my island, and I want to put some new granite countertops up here, and I want to redo, you guys have heard it all. As they talk, AI is not only watching the video, it's listening to everything they say. And then you can run a prompt called Kitchen Remodel and ask it to do anything. All right. It's just like, again, this is where the ChatGPT part of the show comes in. Okay. You can tell it where you're located. You can upload your price book list. You can tell even where you shop. It'll, if you do all your shopping at Home Depot, it'll bring you links that you can just add all those pieces to the cart. It'll give you volumes. It'll give you pieces. And then you take that and you might take some of the pictures and put it in your design tool. So now you're designing, you're getting all of your bids, you've got your hourly rates, and you can even put in sample contracts into your prompts, and it'll create it for you. CRM entries, it can translate to any language, analyze you as a salesperson. AI can do it all.
Awesome. And I imagine as we get more involved with AI agents, with OpenClaw and Claude co-working and things like that we're probably not even going to need the remodeler on the other end to run the prompt, but rather, I think what would be cool is somebody who literally just says, hey, click now, tap, I want to get an estimate, take the video, then, the prompt is run as soon as the video comes in, and they'd say, it's likely that it's going to cost you between X and Y. Let's schedule, an actual in-home consultation or a showroom consultation and bring them to you now, because you've got the information, you've given them enough that they had a kind of an idea of what it might cost. And then now we can do the real sale.
That's right. You're putting together a potential estimate if it's doable. If it's not, now you've got an idea. So you come out armed like, hey, when you do come out, and we have an on-site documentation tool. You literally just bring up the same live switch, click the record now button, mark your GPS where you are, and then hold it up and talk to it. It's your assistant. It's your I really actually, I'll give Microsoft kudos here. I don't do that too often, but like Copilot is what they name their AI. And I think that's great in this scenario, because we have an on-site tool where you can tap and record video. And while you're recording video, you can even hit the picture button. So it's taking pictures and live video at the same time, all going to the cloud, because video files are enormous, right? You can even hit the pause button if you need to pause. If you lose internet, maybe you're at a place where the internet is not very good, it'll still cache and upload everything when you get to even 3G internet. And then you can run your AI report right there when you're on property and do all of those things. And now you just add that to your project. So as you did your first initial estimate, all of those photos, videos, AI reports, and now you're adding your on-site stuff. And then you're doing progress reports, because after you win the job, people want to see the progress of it. And if you've got to come back and you can't remember what you did a year ago, well, you've got the NFL instant replay baked in. Or if it's good for training, mark it for training. Guys, this is how we install this, that, and the other. And the final piece is a QR code that you can leave up on the cabinets or somewhere on the job. So it says your brand, your phone number, and now they can scan a QR code and take a video if they have any issues to even expedite those callbacks. Or it's like, oh yeah, I forgot the name of the company that did our remodel. Oh yeah, I remember they got a sticker. Oh yeah, that's Mike's company. So it's all these little pieces that intertwine. We're like, oh yeah, I can use video here, picture, video. It's everywhere. And it was always right there. Like a chief of police, Mike, it was so funny. He looks at me, he's like, James, this is so obvious. Why didn't we have this before? I'm like, chief, we didn't all have cameras in our pockets, and now they basically issue these things when you're born. I know my teenagers want a phone, like a whole net, but it's everywhere. So now we have the infrastructure to do this and to make it great. And we're not just kind of cobbling things together that were never intended to do the job,
That makes a ton of sense to me. What I really love about this is just the time savings for the contractor, because if you had to go out and do all of these things, and you're going to be going back, and you might go back and forth 5-6 times before someone's actually willing to sign the contract with you. So with stuff like that in mind, how would contractors use this to kind of or use the call to pre-qualify whether this is even a good job or not to begin with?
Yeah, I think seeing is everything, right? They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is worth 10,000, right? So you're able to communicate, ask those discovery questions, see the job site, see what you're looking at. You can judge a lot about a home, right, when you see it. I know that might be a little bit of a taboo topic, but you kind of look at it and you're like, ooh, like this. And then you start asking, like, how much have you budgeted for this? And when are you thinking? You're like, oh, we didn't know. We just wanted to kind of see. We call them tire kickers. Right? Those free estimates that are not free for you when you drove out and you gave all this advice and then they just took your pack and then they said, well, I'm going to do it myself. That's probably never happened to anybody listening, I'm sure, right? Nobody would ever use you for free advice. Never. That's just rude, right? But it happens. And so getting rid of the tire kickers is also a time and money saving. You want to get to the candidates that are most likely to do it. And it's hard sometimes to say no to people, but it's some of the best. No is a great 2-letter word for your business. And also you get an idea have you ever had a customer you took a job that you wish you never did? And you probably were like, yeah, there were signs in the bidding process. There were signs. Like, I just didn't listen to that. But getting the right business is crucial. And saying what you can do, what you can't do. Right? Like, so have you ever got a call and somebody thinks you're a restoration company? Oh, no, we're remodeling. It happens in my restoration companies all the time. We got a bunch of Serve Pros that are customers.
It's funny, as a marketing agency who works with kitchen and bathroom modelers, I probably once a week, I get a call from someone, ask if I'll give them a quote on their kitchen. It's like, guys, not really what we do, but yeah, it happens.
All the time.
One of the things that I think could potentially be an issue for anyone who uses this type of technology, whether it's you or anybody else for that matter, is somebody requests, they want to request something because they're at work. Well, I can't get on the phone because I'm at work. I'm not supposed to be doing this right now. I'm actually on my lunch break. How does it, like, is there a way to kind of set up a callback, or even is there a way where, maybe if the contractor themselves, they're out on a job site, they can't take that call with the customers. Is there a way to kind of automate the process?
Absolutely. We have a thing called request stuff. So someone's at the office, they want their home remodeled, they're on their lunch break. You get no problem. Like, what I'm going to do is send you a text, and then when you get home tonight, just hit the record button and take photos and tell me all about the job that you want. And they could be doing this at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, because that's when we don't like to go out to estimate. And here's the thing, your customer, if they're very, very busy on their job, which usually is a good thing because those people have money, they got a W-2, so they got money coming in. So you want to find, they are going to value convenience. Someone, a busy executive, busy person in their business, they're going to value your convenience, and you don't want to miss a dinner at the dinner table, right? So this request stuff feature, when they get there, if they forget, it even has an automated reminder. Hey, don't forget, like, take a video. Again, you can be at the dinner table and they're recording a video that you can see that next day, and then call them back at their place of business. And we have other tools as well where you can take an instant recording of yourself when you deliver this. Maybe they're so busy. Have you ever had a customer that just likes to text and they're like, oh, now you can record a video of yourself and just Say, hey, this is James at Kitchen Makeover 123. I'm the owner of the company. We reviewed everything here. We're happy to be seeing your kitchen there, and we're no problem with the granite countertops and the kitchens. We do this all the time. I just wanted to personally thank you for taking the time. And then you hit send, and you send that video, and they can watch it. So there's little bits and pieces that you can work throughout and kind of work with a different kind of customers. Everybody's a little different how they like to be worked with, but now you have that optionality to give incredible customer service for how they like to do it, so you can win the job and book the business.
Yeah, I mean, and what I'm hearing too with that, appointment or the recording reminders is that it's probably going to bring in leads that might have gone cold, or people who, they were all excited. They saw your ad on Facebook. That emotion is there, but they didn't have the opportunity right then. So, it kind of brings that emotion back. Oh, hey, we can talk now. That's awesome. Like, I think that probably is a big way that you can stop the I wasted ad spend, because we can kind of reactivate that database almost.
Yeah, the other really cool thing is, imagine it's the evening time, someone's scrolling on Facebook, they see a beautiful kitchen remodel, they click on it. Now they come to your site. Some of our contractors, they will have a video that talks about the future of remodeling, and they'll show like, hey, here's a happy family, here's the kitchen, here's the before and after. And oh, by the way, you can start your quoting right now, and they'll show the workflow of on their website, right under the video is a lead capture tool. And the lead capture, not only are they putting in their information, but there's a take a video button. So now they can take a video and tell us about your project. Say, take a video, could be 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And now they're walking through and they've taken a video. It commits them to you that much more. Again, we're trying to be a speed bump for them going down the Google 5-star list, which you need to be on, right? But this is that automation of click the Facebook, watch the video, lead and take a video, and then you're responding in the morning. Maybe they did at night. I've watched the video, looks great. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's a ballpark estimate for what you're thinking about. Now let's get a time where I can come and give you the quote and get it signed and get it work going. It's just that smoothness. And it'll separate you too as a remodeler, because like, wow, this person's very tech forward. And if they're going to be this thoughtful, in the beginning of the relationship, I bet it builds trust, and trust sells deals.
For sure. Yeah. The thing that I think would concern a lot of people who listen to this podcast, a lot of the remodelers, is that they live and breathe in their CRM. Whether that's Go High Level, whether it's Salesforce, HubSpot, Agile, whatever it is. How easy is it to connect all this messaging into the CRM? Is it through Zapier, or is there a native way to connect to CRMs? How's that all look?
There's multiple ways. Sometimes we're baked under the hood. Like, we're under the hood of HubSpot, right? We're under the hood of House Call Pro, of Jobber, Service Titans. In some cases where we're not, sometimes there's some boutique things where maybe you work in Excel. Like, I don't want to, we'll go that direction. You're keeping everything Excel. You should probably get a CRM, but hey, I know many business owners that are still running Excel, no problem. Within the Chrome web browser, which is a very popular browser, we made an extension called LiveSwitch Go Launcher, and you can go into the launcher and it'll read the website you're on. So even if you're on Excel sheet or on any CRM, it's looking at the website you're looking at for a phone number, and it puts a little L next to the number, and you can just tap it to instantly start a recorded video or request a call right there. So any site, even an email, right from there, boom. And then all of your video and photo and that live call is saved in your LiveSwitch account. And if there is an integration, you'll see a link, or in some cases, a full video photos. It just depends on the platform. And we're in a lot of them.
That's fantastic.
And we architected Zapier as well, by the way, if you want to customize it.
That's good. I know, whenever we work with a client in our marketing agency, we always provide a high level account to them. And now that's something that, is becoming more popular. So, any way that you can make sure that, the quoting and the follow-ups and all that are there as well. I think that's a huge win, because, if it's not in the CRM, it didn't happen, I think is the biggest issue. Agree. Yeah. So, James, you've shared a lot of great tips with us. You've given us a lot of insight. We had a chance to take a look at the demo a little bit here. But with that said, if someone, is watching or listening to this, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you saw the demo, of course, but let's say, they're thinking this sounds fantastic. I need this. What's the fastest way for them to get started and to try it out?
Well, we have a free trial. So you can literally go, and we don't ask for a credit card. Wow, shocker. You can literally go and start trying it, in 10 seconds. I would also recommend a walkthrough demo from one of my team. So when you go to liveswitch.com and demo, or if you want, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll walk you through it. So anyone listening, if you want me, you can come to me. But my team is fabulous. So feel free to just go to liveswitch.com and try it with a free trial, and then we'll reach out, or you can reach out to us, and we'll walk you through how other contractors are using this, and then from there, it's easy peasy, and super affordable as well. I fight your gas tank, so it's probably more expensive to be filling up your gas tank for all your estimates than it is to pay for a month of Live Switch.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this, and I went to get fuel for diesel fuel, and it was $4.53 a gallon yesterday, and that was insane. So
Oh,
that
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, and now you don't have to always drive out. And that's where the hard part is, I think, for a lot of us who've been doing this for a long time. We think, man, I really got to do that, until you win your first job when you didn't. Well, maybe I don't have to go. And what'll end up happening, just like it happens for all of them, is like we always went out. And then after working with Live Switch for 12 months, the owner's like, yeah, now we only go out when we have to for estimates. It doesn't eliminate all of it. No way. Because you got one of those big jobs or a commercial job, you see it, you're like, oh, there's some money. Let's go ahead and schedule. I'm coming right now. So it'll put some giddy up in your step there.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I think about like some of our clients that we have up in New England, or in the Midwest, and Minnesota and Michigan, and you know what? They got a lot of downtime, December, January, February, where they'd like to go out and they'd like to bid a job, and people would like to have them come out because they're stuck at home because they didn't go to work from the snow. Well, you know what? Now, baby, we aren't going to have those 8 to 9 down days every winter. Now we've got a way that we can still do our job. We can still see it. It's kind of like, when the pandemic hit, the thing that I loved about, or there's nothing I loved about it, but the thing that I learned about it is, you don't have to actually physically be somewhere to be efficient. And this is just another example of, technology just taking us to that next level.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it helps for sick days, snow days, any of these pieces, or if you need to talk to one of your workers or on site, or if you have a subcontractor that needs to see it, because now you can share the recording. And a lot of our folks will, when they get on the job and win the job, they'll put a QR code up for Live Switch that anybody can scan, a customer, your team member, or a subcontractor, to start doing all the site documentation, which is also very critical during that build, especially for a homeowner. They're wanting to see the progress of the job as well. And it's a great way to remain transparent, and people love transparency.
That's awesome, James. Well, listen, this was fantastic. I mean, you've dropped some real knowledge bombs on us here today, and I think you've opened up my eyes, and I'm sure you've opened up a lot of the listeners, as well. And I think a lot of contractors, they're gonna realize really how simple this actually is, and more importantly, really how much faster they can respond with leads to close jobs. So if you're listening and you're watching today, and you want to stop losing leads due to slow follow up, due to scheduling delays, go check out Live Switch. See how you can start implementing this in your business. And if this episode helped you, or helped you think really differently about your estimating process, make sure to subscribe and share with someone who really needs to see this. So I'm Mike Goldstein. This is Crushing It with Kitchen Remodeling. You can find out more about us, or check us out at kitchenremodeling.seo.com/podcast. Watch all the old ones. We're going to see you next time. And again, James, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right. See you guys.